All right, what's up, y'all? AWB, I'm back at it. Um, First thing I want to say is go ahead, if you haven't already, go ahead and pick up my book. Go ahead and show the link right here. It's right here. It's on Amazon. So go ahead and pick that up. You also can view it on Kindle if you have Kindle. But yeah, Eyes on Authority. How to hold public servants accountable for from streets to the screen. Document the fight for freedom. And basically, it's just about holding our public servants accountable and for them to know our rights and for us to know our rights. Okay. Back up. I got a couple videos I want to look over with y'all. This one for sure. So this is the Civil Rights Lawyers channel. I haven't seen this video yet. It was when it came out 2 days ago, and I was gonna watch it by myself, but I decided let me just do a stream, and I'll watch it on the stream with y'all. So I get everybody's thoughts and opinions on it.
The most amazing thing has happened in a small town in Grayson County, Kentucky.
There's something about that Southern hospitality, that warm, inviting, and everybody knows everybody.
How many times did you punch me? A bunch. How many times did you punch me? A bunch. I was putting out a fire, you idiot. Hey, take that.
A man's house caught on fire, or FAR,
Put the fire out.
as they say in both Kentucky and here in West Virginia.
Damn lithium battery blowed up.
It sounded like the bomb went off.
Oh, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
That man should be able to risk his own personal safety to put out that fire, right?
Well, hell, let me get that back in there then. No. Get out. I ain't gonna let my house burn.
Well, wrong, according to these cops who showed up on the scene and beat this man to a bloody pulp and arrested him just for trying to put out a fire at his own home.
You're going to stop me from saving my own home. My safety is none of your concern.
But that's not the most amazing part of this story. When the government went to have this man and his son indicted by a grand jury, I kid you not, they indicted the police officer instead.
Somehow the grand jury reversed the district court's finding and indicted Sergeant Newton on misdemeanor charges. This action is unprecedented in my experience.
Can the grand jury do that? Well, I have the body cam that turned this grand jury against the government. Let's go through it. You know, when police step over the line and violate your rights, what makes it so egregious is the imbalance of power. You simply can't do anything to stop it at that moment. Just like that, you're up against a giant that you cannot fight alone. That's exactly what happened to a man in Florida who broke his back and became paralyzed in 2021. Instead of the government, he found himself fighting his own insurance company, who only offered him $20,000. But this man did not settle for only $20,000 for his injury. Instead, he called today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, and they were able to help him win over $120 million. The reason I like Morgan & Morgan is that they fight for their clients just like I do. As the nation's biggest personal injury law firm, they have the firepower to take on insurance companies and win. The best part is that you don't pay anything unless you win your case. If you or someone you know has been injured and needs help, you can start your claim now at forthepeople.com/thecivilrightslawyer, found in the description, and filling out this simple form, or by scanning the QR code on the screen from your phone's camera. Now let's get back to the video. And welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel, where by subscribing, you can do all of these things. Be entertained, be informed, be educated on constitutional rights, and also perform the very serious task of helping to hold your government accountable for acts of misconduct that we document on this channel. As I mentioned, this video comes to us from, I believe it's pronounced Lichfield, Kentucky, which is in Grayson County. Now, this has been in at least one news report that I've seen, but this was actually submitted directly to me by the guy in this video, Lanny. Now, Lanny, if you've ever lived in West Virginia or Kentucky, you know Lanny.
You're getting ready to go to jail. I'm going to shit going to jail. All right. You lied to me. You said the fire department.
You do not get to swing on the police.
I didn't swing until you hit me.
Have a seat for a second.
What the is your name? This right here is going to cost you your job. Yeah, it's going to cost you, big boy, because you've never met somebody like me.
I don't know his specific genealogy, but I guarantee he's one of the descendants of the people who George Washington and others placed in these mountains to both stop the British and also the Native Americans from attacking people in the East. These people have always been fiercely independent. They were willing to fight the largest empire on earth over like a few cents in taxes. You don't mess with their sense of liberty and independence. You don't mess with their stuff. Not a lot has changed in some areas of the country. Anyway, Lanny's house caught on fire. In Appalachia, when your house catches on fire, yeah, you call the fire department, but you don't sit around and wait on the government to do it for you. Yeah, you call 911 if somebody breaks into your house, but you don't wait on the police to arrive. You protect yourself. You protect your family. You protect your home. And that's what Lanny was in the process of doing with his son and other family members when police officers from the Lichfield Police Department arrived. Now, the fire department was not there yet. The police arrived.
I don't know. I'm not sure what we're dealing with just yet.
Golly,
Where's it at?
it's in the basement.
Negative.
Sir, come on out.
10-4, take off.
Yeah, come on out. Is it just you guys down here? Is it just you guys down here?
Damn lithium battery blowed up.
It sounded like the bomb went.
Oh, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You got it put out?
No, it's still going.
Officers ordered Lanny and his son Darren to leave the smoke-filled house for what they said were safety reasons, but the pair resisted.
Where's the fire
Okay,
department?
well, let's get back.
Well, here, let me get that back in there then.
No. Get out.
I ain't gonna let my house burn. There's hundreds of thousands.
Listen here.
And when they resisted, Officer Justin Cockrell tased the son Darren Fentress.
This is the premium Garmin Duffel 45 liter by Half Day. It's a transforming 2-in-1 travel duffel bag for long weekends, weddings, and business trips.
You're getting ready to go to jail. I'm going to shit.
So they try to put stuff out and grab stuff out of their house because their house on fire, and you tell them you're gonna take them to jail for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Get out now. Get out now. Get out now. Dude.
Hey, stop it right
Here, take this fire extinguisher.
At that time, his father, Lanny, was holding a garden hose because he was trying to put out the fire. And this is what the cops alleged, that Lanny, holding that garden hose, swung it at the officers.
Get out here now.
No, I'm done. I done got the fire out.
You are done. You're both going to jail.
I'm going to
For what? How can you go to jail for that?
go to jail.
You're going to jail for assault third. So is
How the I saw
because you
anybody?
touched the police officer. That's why.
I will.
Do it, mother.
Do it.
Get on the ground now.
You think calling me a mother in my home?
Get on the ground now.
I'm not getting on the ground.
So then Officer Newton tased him. Then when they finally got Lanny out of the house, as they're walking him to an ambulance, you can see these visible taser probes sticking out of his chest and his stomach, and his face apparently now a bloody pulp.
This bullshit. Ma'am, step back. Now, step back.
I'm going to take a picture of my husband.
You can take a picture, but you can also step back.
Man,
Yeah, you overstepped your bounds this time. Okay.
Lanny was not happy at all, and he was not going quietly.
What gives you the right to make me leave my home when I'm trying to put a fire out? You lied to me. You said the fire department.
And they learned.
They lied to me. They said the fire department. You are.
Was to not go back inside that home for your
No,
safety.
you made me come out.
Yes,
I
no.
wasn't fighting. I was fighting to get back in the damn house to put the fire out. What the is your name?
Sergeant Newton, sir.
Who?
Sergeant Newton.
What Newton?
N-E-W-T-O-N.
No. What's your dad's name?
My dad's name has nothing to do with this. He's not from here.
Oh. Well, you won't be from here very long. You know this is wrong.
No, not sir.
look at him. That is. Imagine you putting out a fire in your house and you get beat up like this. This is terrible.
You're going to stop me from saving my own home. Hey, my safety is none of your concern. This right here is going to cost you your job.
After this happened, back when the government was still controlling the narrative here was the first news reports that came out of the situation. The headline was this: Father, son arrested for fighting police after Lichtfield basement fire reveals guns, ammo. 2 men were arrested in Lichtfield after fighting police officers that were attempting to clear a fire in a basement, which contained a large amount of ammunition and guns. The 2 men attempted to re-enter the home despite being told to stay away from the building. When
What?
blocked from entering by officers, both men shoved the officers, who then told the men they were under arrest. Lanny Fentress continued to resist arrest by punching and throwing things at the police officers before being tased as well. Afterward, both men were apprehended. While being treated by EMS, Lanny Fentress continued to be uncooperative and refused to give the officer his information. Both men were then transported to the Grayson County Detention Center. Lanny Fentress is charged with menacing, third-degree terroristic threatening, third-degree assault of a police officer, and second-degree wanton endangerment of a police officer. Darren Fentress is charged with menacing, resisting arrest, and second-degree wanton endangerment of a police officer. Both of the officers were treated for smoke inhalation and injuries at the emergency room and released. Oh, thank God the officers are okay. This is how things normally go when police officers control the narrative.
That is terrible. Could you imagine that being the story that's told on the news? Meanwhile, you see what really happened.
And everything was going swimmingly until the cases were presented at the grand jury.
A Litchfield police officer responding to a house fire is accused of assaulting a man and his adult son. Sergeant DJ Newton went to court this morning and pleaded not guilty.
Things get heated after Litchfield police and other first responders were called to a home on Risen Drive. This is Sergeant DJ Newton's body cam. The house is smoky from the fire. When officers told Lanny Fentress and his adult son Darren to leave the home, fearing for their safety, they wouldn't leave.
Get out now. Taser, taser, taser.
A Grayson County special grand jury has now indicted Newton for this incident for misdemeanor charges of assault, terroristic threatening, menacing, and criminal trespassing. Lanny and Darren were arrested
That's exactly what happened.
and charged with menacing, assault, and wanton endangerment of a police officer. But those charges
That's not what happened. That's why you're going to hear those charges being dropped.
have now been dropped. Litchfield police say Newton is on leave without pay after being indicted. Officer Justin Cockrell is not facing any charges. An internal police investigation is also underway. Lanny Fentress messaged WDRB Investigate saying the body cam speaks for itself.
Newton's attorney, Thomas Clay, released a statement saying somehow the grand jury reversed the district court's finding and indicted Sergeant Newton on misdemeanor charges. This action is unprecedented in my experience.
The Lichtfield Police Department issued the following statement regarding Officer Newton's indictment. On November 13th, 2024, Litchfield Police Department became aware of an indictment issued by Grayson Circuit Court stemming from a special called grand jury against Sergeant DJ Newton for multiple misdemeanor charges, including assault in the 4th degree, terroristic threatening in the 3rd degree, menacing, and criminal trespass in the 1st degree. Litchfield Police Department will update with more information as it becomes available. We would defer to the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office for specific information on these charges. At this time, Sergeant Newton is on leave without pay. Litchfield Police Department cannot comment on any internal action being taken at this time until the final disposition of any charges. So they had called a special grand jury just to indict Lanny. But remember, I told you about the fine people from West Virginia and Kentucky. I think when they saw that body cam footage and they compared it to the statement that was provided or the testimony that was provided by Officer Newton, they saw that it didn't match up. Just like you see in many of these videos, what the officers are describing is not what happened. They saw a man who was defending his own home from this fire, and they believed it was reasonable not to let police officers drag you out of your own house, especially when they weren't the fire department. The fire department wasn't there. They had no solution. They had no business dragging him out of his own house, much less beating him to a pulp and tasing him for, quote, his own safety. That wasn't for his own safety. That was because he didn't do what they told him to do and was willing to physically resist, which he did. Because it was on body cam, the grand jurors got to see what actually happened, and they turned the tables on the government. So now the government is
And that's how I wish it would go this way more often, where you get real people looking at that, look at the evidence or the body cam, and they decide this officer is all obviously wrong.
prosecuting its own cop, which it doesn't want to do. So they have to bring in a special judge just to hear the case. And I guess they probably have to bring in a special prosecutor as well. So what I would look for to happen is for this to go away. The grand jurors, the citizens, wanted that officer prosecuted, but the government will not want that officer prosecuted. And I suspect that the charges will disappear quietly, unless they can't disappear quietly. And that's where you come in. If you love America and you love freedom and you believe in the right of an American citizen, the right of a Kentuckian to defend his own home against fire and not to be dragged out of it by anybody, then you can support Lanny by spreading this footage and letting people know what's going on here. The people have spoken through this grand jury. Don't let the government undo that. If this falls out of the public eye, the government is going to dismiss the charges against the officer, somehow recharge Lanny under Kentucky law. I'm sure they can do it. And this time they'll do something differently. But don't let them do that. Share this footage. Let people see what happened and decide for themselves. While I couldn't show a lot of the violence in this video, I will link the raw footage below so that you can watch it for yourself. You can see Officer Newton, or one of the officers, just repeatedly punching Lanny in the face. I mean, you do not cause that level of destruction on somebody's face without doing it intentionally by striking them or punching them in the face. The decision was made here to beat Lanny. I didn't see any bloody faces on behalf of the officers, despite what the news media said in the initial reports. I'm sure there's going to be more update videos on this one. Maybe I'll interview Lanny as well. We'll have to see. You can follow along by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Follow me on Twitter at JohnBryanESQ, especially if you like completely unrelated history stuff. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Before you spend hours stuck in a waiting room.
What y'all think about that? Put your thoughts in the comment section and we can go back and forth and figure this out, I guess. It's not really nothing to figure out, but just talk about how bad it is. and what needs to be done to fix it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and grab my book. Yeah, I released this book actually, I think it's maybe a couple months ago, and during my recovery process, if you don't know, I was in a vehicle accident and I was in a coma for a month, and a lot of things happened with my channel, and like YouTube, they demonetized me, so I had to work on getting back monetized. But it's just been a lot going on. So during my recovery, I decided that I need to, at least write about my experience. And one way I did that was by creating that book, Eyes on Authority. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, this right here. All right, so I'm gonna play another video. So this is by the Lackluster, or this is from the Lackluster channel, and this is titled 77,000 a night, qualified immunity revoked.
You're under arrest.
And this is my first time seeing this video too. So
I didn't do nothing. All right. So if you resist any further, you will also get charged with resisting arrest.
You shut up. Is that how you talk to someone? Is that all officers supposed to talk to someone? Yeah, like we're here doing a custodial search on you. Because I'm just a security guard, and all I seen was them jacking up a car.
Good people go to jail too. Good people, bad people.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. 1 year ago, I published the unlawful arrest of Mr. Roland Edgar, and we finally have an update. To see the original video, use the link in the pinned comment. Otherwise, here is a recap.
In 2019, Roland and his stepson were attempting to repair a customer's car that had become disabled in the church parking lot where she was employed at. The security guard at the church called 911 instead of making contact with the man and asking questions. Soon, officers Krista McCabe and Cameron Paralot of the Huntsville Police Department arrived on scene.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Foster?
What y'all doing?
I'm going to take a description. Huh?
What are y'all doing?
Get in the car.
Is this your car?
Drive all day. One of my customers. 1867.
One of your customers?
No, tell. Yeah. I was over here earlier.
Whose car is that?
Mine.
The black one?
Yeah.
After watching the men work for some time, Officer McCabe asks the men to identify themselves. But for what? Nobody knows.
All right, take a break from me real fast, and y'all have driver's license or IDs on you?
I ain't going to submit to no ID. Listen, you call this lady right now. Listen, I ain't got time for this. It's all word. I don't mean to be rude or nothing.
Okay, no, you do need to give me your ID or driver's license.
Listen, I don't want you to run me and for nothing.
Are you refusing me to give? Are you refusing to give me your ID or driver's license?
You call this lady on this
Step
car.
over that one.
Come on, man. See y'all. Here's y'all playing.
You're playing right now. We don't got time for this. We really don't got time for this.
Assuming that Roland had time for this, Officer Perlat grabs him from behind and places him under arrest.
Man, y'all don't understand.
You don't understand the law.
I got to go. Switch to my left when I asked you, sir.
All right, I'm on. Do your cuffs.
Yeah.
And you twist your wrist around.
Yes, sir, yes. Hold on, get my ID.
No, we'll get your ID.
Keep your wrist like that.
All right.
You're under arrest for obstruction.
I didn't do nothing.
All right. So if you resist any further, you will also get charged with resisting arrest. You understand?
Listen, I'll give you my ID. I'll tell you what's going on. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to get a customer's car here. I'm in a rush. Y'all down in my pocket for no reason. I said my ID is in my car.
You're not going to get placed in my car without knowing what's in your pocket. Now 47 Southern.
You shut up.
Is that how you talk to someone? Is that officer supposed to talk to someone?
Yeah,
like this?
we're here doing a custodial search on you.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. What y'all need to do is call Mr. Gold Patel right there in this office right here and hand me the key.
I already explained to you. All right.
I mean, I am such a rush. This ain't necessary. This ain't necessary.
It is necessary.
Roland hasn't broken the law, and an officer has no authority to demand a person's papers without suspicion that criminal activity was.
So obviously he hasn't broken the law, and they're trying to force him to give up his Fourth Amendment, which is by giving him his ID. Which, for what? If he didn't do anything, why would he give you his ID?
Was afoot. Unfortunately, the law enforcement officers have little to no understanding of the law that they are hired to enforce, and tell Roland that he is obstructing an investigation by refusing to give his identification.
Called obstruction.
Listen, I didn't do anything. Please
Yes.
listen. Please listen.
I've already told him that he's under arrest.
This is ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do the crime, but she's trying to arrest somebody for not doing a crime. She's trying to arrest me for obstruction. For what? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Huh? That's what I'm saying. She's down. Man, please listen to
Sit down in the car.
Man, please listen.
No, you don't want to listen to us.
I'm trying to explain to you. I'm trying to explain.
Okay, once again.
So he's out there working on a car for a customer, and the police come and arrest him. Think of how bad that day is.
Just have a seat right there for me, okay? No, I need your ID. Thank you. Okay. So, all right, he is going to jail. All right. Yes. Okay. Well, that sucks. I mean, good people go to jail too. Good people, bad people. They break the law. They go to jail. All right.
You hear her. She sounds stupid because she taking stupid actions or performing. Nothing she's doing right now is making sense at all.
All right. I asked him multiple times for his ID or driver's license. Did I not? Yep. Okay. Then he refused. I asked him again if he was sure that he was refusing to give it to me. He confirmed that he was refusing to give it to me, and at that point, he is obstructing an investigation, and he is going to jail. All right? I'm out here because I got a call stating that vehicle, okay, is an employee here, and you guys were inside the car, and you're not supposed to be inside the car, okay? And that's fine, all right? But I'm still here making sure that you're not doing anything illegal. But it took me now, how long have I been out here? Like 5, 6, 7-ish minutes, okay? I'm just now getting to tell you why I'm here because of his action. All right, I'm just now getting to explain what I'm investigating because he deterred me from doing that. All right.
Officer McCabe now goes to the church to speak with the 911 caller.
Okay, so whose car is it that is an employee?
It's Miss Dola. She works here.
Which
At the
car is
daycare.
it that's hers?
The red one.
Okay. Is she here?
No, ma'am. They've already went home for the day.
Okay. Well, what's her last name?
I'm not sure.
Is it Perez, maybe? Does anybody know what it is?
Because I'm just a security guard and all I...
Does anybody know her last name? What? Insane. And why would they tell you her last name?
I seen was them jacking up a car.
Apparently, he has his own body shop, and he's over here picking it up to bring to his body shop to fix it. He actually refused to give me his identification, so that's why he's going to jail. I mean, it may be completely legit that he is out here just picking up the car.
So he's going to jail for not giving up his Fourth Amendment right. How's that going to look in court? What are y'all thoughts on how ignorant and crazy this is? These actions, you just giving away taxpayer money.
And it's with her consent, but
just because she's stupid and don't know what her job is supposed to be, doesn't know the law, doesn't know basically anything, honestly. If you arrested somebody for no reason, or the reason you're given is saying they didn't give you their ID, or they didn't give up their Fourth Amendment, so you arrested somebody for standing up for their rights. That's basically what she's saying.
when he tells me no, that he's not giving me his identification to identify who he is, then that's in trouble.
They let him know you got something wrong.
Yeah.
You ain't got no warrant, no his ID, you might have been taken.
Roland.
It is now starting my day at like 30 miles an hour instead of 0.
Whatever you're best at.
Now gives the officer his phone and
let me see. You say the issue was the lady was supposed to let security know that someone would be working on the car. That's kind of, you might want to say that, yeah. But it's that I would have to wonder, what is the actual crime here? What is he going to jail for? She said he's going to jail for not giving up his ID. Well, why would he be giving up his ID? What crime would you be accusing him of to have him give up his ID? What crime would that be? And the only thing she's standing on is that he didn't give up his ID. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to figure, well, where is the crime? Because the crime that she told him that she's taking him to jail for is not giving up his ID. That's not, you can't just not give up not surrender your Fourth Amendment and you go to jail. No, you have to be, there has to be a reason why I'm giving up my Fourth Amendment or giving them your ID. It has to be a reason for that, not just because they feel like it. They feel like asking you, and if you don't go along with their request, they take you to jail. That's insane.
she calls the vehicle's owner.
He's the man that owns that car, Codgel.
DeKalb County. This is Officer McCabe with HTD. Okay, we got a call of a man working on your wife's car, and I was out here, and I needed to verify that this man was supposed to be working on her car, all right? Okay, that's all I needed to know, was that he was supposed to be working on her car, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
They said you're going to jail for obstruction of
There is. You refused multiple times to identify yourself to me.
So she's standing on that. She's saying there is a crime here, and the crime here is you didn't give up your ID, or basically you didn't surrender your Fourth Amendment. You didn't give up your Fourth Amendment. That's the crime here. That's it. No, and she trying to make it seem like, oh, there was a crime, and the crime that she keeps saying is him giving up his ID. She thinks that that's a crime, minus her having a reason for asking for it. You can't just go around asking people or telling people to give up their rights, and the person decides, no, I want to stand up. I want to stand for my rights. I want to invoke my rights. And in her mind, that's obviously not. In her mind, she thinks that's just not the thing to do, which is, it's insane, really.
You can argue that point in court. Now, what do you have to say? What do you need to release to yourself?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Really? I mean, okay, you have nothing else to say?
I don't know what to
Okay,
say.
cool.
Sir,
Okay,
hold
cool.
on, sir. I
Okay,
don't know
cool.
what to say.
What do you mean?
Wow. Look how they treating him.
Well, obviously, he doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to talk about him being charged. So I have the keys to that car on the top of the car. You're free to go.
Somehow, neither of these unprofessional and rude officers knew the most basic part of their job, and nearly 1,000 videos on this channel show that it is an epidemic throughout departments across the US. Because of this incident, Roland was charged with obstructing governmental operations.
Future reference, like I said, if a cop asks you to identify yourself, just go in and give your ID.
You know what? Looking back.
And then when you said,
You know what? Look.
I don't need my name ran,
I didn't want my name ran.
red flag.
The baseless charges were eventually dropped. Roland would then sue the city and the two Huntsville officers for the wrongful arrest. At first, a federal judge at the district court granted the officers qualified immunity and dismissed the lawsuit. However,
So what is ClickUp? ClickUp is an all-in-one productivity software where you can manage everything and anything related to your work. Your documents, your chats, your whiteboards, your projects. The value of this, you don't have to buy 5 softwares to do this.
on appeal, the federal appellate judges rejected the officers' argument that they had probable cause to arrest Edgar because Alabamians do not have to show identification simply because they were asked to by the police, and refusing to do so is not a crime. Rather, this incident appears to be a knee-jerk reaction to a bruised ego by an immature, entitled, and uneducated police force. Judge Wilson wrote that it has been clearly established for decades that police are free to ask any question that they want, but the public is free to ignore them, and that no one was able to identify any law that required the public to carry a physical ID card. With that, the judges found that the officers were not entitled to qualified immunity and sent the case back to the district court, where after a 2-day trial in October of 2024, U.S. District Judge Lyles Burke ruled that Krista McCabe and Cameron Perlot falsely arrested Edgar. A jury awarded him a total of $77,000. But officers Krista McCabe and Cameron Perlot did not have to pay Roland, even after being stripped of their qualified immunity. Instead, The city of Huntsville indemnified the officers and elected to force their constituents to pay Edgar out of their taxes for the officers' criminal acts. Previously, the department said that they were disappointed in the appellate court's decision to remove qualified immunity, as if the officers did anything other than show a repellent of American values. And now, to save face, the Huntsville police said, quote, "The department respects the court's decision and will incorporate additional training to ensure our practices align with the court's ruling. Not that they understand that their actions were antithetical to the tenets of liberty, or that they've learned their lesson, but rather that they'll do what they're told by the dog with the bigger bite." It's unclear, but it appears that neither officer was reprimanded by the department. I'd love to know what you think of all that, but better yet, if you have any friends that are police or are just pro-police, share this video with them and ask if they would defend these officers or the department's actions and response.
Yeah. So, what are y'all thoughts on that? Because obviously, it's insane, and they end up paying him $77,000. But you gotta think about all the stress that he went through for absolutely no reason. He was already working, so he was working. They pull up on him, and why do the police think they can do this? Why do they do it? What goes on in their mind to make them think that this is an okay thing? Like, she thought it was okay for her to take him to jail for that. Could you imagine that? She thought that was okay to do. Yeah, I'm just gonna take him to jail, and it's wild. So I got another video I wanna watch, and I'm just happy to watch them with y'all pretty much. Oh, come on, I'm gonna share this video.
Viral video shared online hundreds of thousands of times.
That's awesome. He doesn't need to be in uniform.
So we're back on we're on Lackluster channel, and this video, the title of this video is "Cop Fired After Deleting Video from Detainee's Phone."
The Selma police officer was fired.
Hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube.
That officer can be seen in this viral video shared online hundreds of thousands of times.
That's awesome. He doesn't need to be in uniform.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. On September 19th, the Selma Police Department in North Carolina pulled over a local mechanic named Matthew. Matthew contacted me shortly after, and on the 24th, I published the video, which then made the local news. Here is a quick recap. He was driving a client's vehicle to a body shop to have repairs made to the rear bumper when he was pulled over by Corporal Atkinson and Officer Hine of the Selma Police Department. Matt claims the moment that the officers approached the car, the officers were extremely rude. Once Matt began recording, the officers immediately demanded that he exit his vehicle.
Pennsylvania versus Mims, man. You gonna step out of the vehicle for me?
Step out of the car?
Yes, sir.
Why am I?
You didn't step out of the car.
You didn't even ask me about it. Hold on, sir. I know my rights.
Get you out of the car.
Step out of the car, man. For what?
He's already asked you to get out of the car. Get out.
For what?
Step out of the car.
As Matt attempted to hand the officer his license, and before being advised as to the nature of the stop, one of the officers reaches into Matt's vehicle to unlock the door and extricate him.
For what? For what?
First off, load of marijuana. Second off, your place expired.
Expired,
And
sir.
now you're refusing orders. Step out of the car, sir.
Hold on. You didn't even
step out of the car. Put your phone right here. Step out the car. Put your phone right here. That's fine.
I'm gonna cut the car off, okay?
That's fine. Do that. Leave the keys right here. You got your ID?
Yeah, it's my license.
Okay, that's fine. You sit. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to know why the hostility.
Step out of the car.
I want to know the hostility, man. You didn't have any reason to push over.
Do you ever wonder how Nectar can offer such an incredible deal for their adjustable bundle? This bundle includes the Nectar mattress, cooling pillows, a mattress protector, sheet set.
Now several minutes into the stop, the officers claim that they smell marijuana.
We don't have to give you a reason, man. We don't have to give you, exactly. We stated a Supreme Court ruling is what we stated. Well, then you shouldn't have started arguing when we first walked up. Jesus, man.
For nearly 10 minutes, the officers will make a mess of the car, dumping out bags of hardware, scattering trash around the passenger compartment, and eventually, Corporal Atkinson notices Matt's phone is still recording and removes it from its stand to set it down in a manner to obstruct the lens. Corporal Atkinson continues to search the vehicle for another 7 minutes before finally returning to the phone. When a video or picture file is deleted from a smartphone, it does not just simply disappear. Sometimes they upload themselves to a cloud and are easily restored. But on most devices, deleted pictures and videos are moved to a trash or recently deleted folder, where it is then retained for a 30-day period before being permanently deleted. This provides a safety net, allowing an accidentally deleted file to be recovered with ease. Furthermore, the trash folders are often password protected, ensuring that only the owner of the device can intentionally delete exculpatory evidence, and thus anyone attempting to maliciously remove your memories from your property would be stopped in their tracks. Once the traffic stop concluded, Matt was released with a total of 5 citations, which is when he realized his phone was not in the same position he did not admit that he attempted to delete the footage.
Sanders now preparing to fight in court against several charges that town leaders find legitimate. Are these charges justified against you?
Are they justified against me? I don't think so.
The day after I published that video, Matthew filed a complaint with the department, and to assist them in their investigation, he went as far as to turn in his phone to allow them to test it in whatever way they wished to get to the bottom of it.
That officer, Corporal Atkinson, stopped that video and attempted to delete the video.
Basically, it's like, why use multiple chargers when one charging station does it all? It's a smart, ultra-powerful desktop.
But Mayor Byron McAllister says an investigation didn't find these claims to be true.
But after returning the phone, the mayor said, quote,
"The claim was investigated not only by the Selma Police Department, by 2 independent police agencies as well, and that claim was not substantiated."
One of the reasons they didn't substantiate it is probably because the department doesn't have body cams.
This is an example of how body-worn cameras and car cameras can help increase transparency in an encounter like this. That technology is actually on the way here in Selma with a rollout date that's still TBD. So
it's claimed that the mayor also said that the 21st, Police Chief Jamie Hughes terminated Officer Joseph Atkinson from the Selma Police Force.
Officer Joseph Atkinson turned his phone recording off, then deleted that video during that September 19th encounter. Those are claims that investigators say could not be substantiated, but the mayor says while no policies were violated from what he could tell during that traffic stop, that Officer Atkinson did not meet the standard of Selma Police and was subsequently let go.
So let's just be clear. Deleting a video from a private citizen's phone during a traffic stop to hide inexcusable behavior, an egregious violation of one's constitutional rights, is not a policy violation? And if it were, 3 departments couldn't prove that it happened, but they still fired the guy? It sounds like complete bullshit to me.
New tonight, a Selma police officer was fired in the wake of a controversial traffic stop.
That officer can be seen in this viral video captured by Matthew Sanders, who claimed the officer tried to delete it from his phone.
An internal investigation led to the firing of Selma police officer Joseph Atkinson.
Amen. That's awesome. He doesn't need to be in uniform.
If a tool such as Celebrite or something similar was used, the department should release those findings. Prove it. Show what you searched for, how you searched for it, and what you didn't search for.
Now, it is worth pointing out that Selma police officers do not use body cameras for now, but this has certainly renewed the conversation when it comes to using body cameras in the name of transparency.
Funding was recently allocated for body cams, but this is North Carolina, perhaps the least transparent state in the US, as body cam footage is not considered a public record. To obtain most footage, you have to file a civil action in Superior Court. And even if a judge
How is body cam footage not public? That's insane.
proves that, they can release portions of the recording that are relevant to the person's request, and may place any conditions or restrictions on the release of the records that the court, in its discretion, deems appropriate. The Selma Police Department says that Officer Atkinson was under a probationary period.
I believe Chief Hughes felt that that standard was not met by a probationary employee in Officer Atkinson.
Which means he was a new officer with less than 6 months on the job. But pictures of him swearing in just 10 months before this incident are posted to their Facebook page. It's possible.
You gotta know, when they swear in, they're swearing to uphold our rights. And it's crazy that they're swearing to uphold our rights, and look what happened.
That they only mentioned that he was still on probation to make it appear as though he were just a brand new officer, unaware of what he was doing. But Atkinson graduated in 2009 and has moved around to several other agencies in the area ever since. While this news is awesome, the whole thing stinks, and it's likely that we'll see Atkinson pop up somewhere else soon enough, if he hasn't been rehired already.
I think that the judge, the district attorney, and my attorney will look at this, and they're going to look for the officer in the courtroom. He's not going to be there, and they're going to throw it out.
Let me know what you think of this story in the comments down below, and if Matthew files a lawsuit for this incident, I'll be sure to mention it here. Until next time, check out another video, linked on screen.
All right, y'all. So I got another video here. It's from the channel Midwest Safety, and it's titled "How to Get Fired on Your First Day." And this one is hilarious, honestly. From the little bit that I've seen, I haven't seen it. I haven't watched this video yet, but from the little bit I've seen, it's hilarious. So this pretty much what I seen, and I already know it's gonna be hilarious. Yeah. Why you coming at her like that? And that's what in her mind, she's like, why are you coming at me like this? And no, you're not. She's not going for it. And I don't blame her, honestly. No, she's turning up for real. And she honestly, she's speaking the truth. She's speaking her heart. No. She right. Wanting for what? What are they wanting her for? Yeah. Right. She keeps doing this. She's not doing nothing but she exercising her First Amendment right now. That's the only thing she's doing. So how? How is she harassing everybody when it's obvious they came up and start harassing her and they didn't think that she was gonna respond the way she did, and basically they escalated the situation. And we always say, do they practice de-escalation? It's like they teach them to escalate. They don't even think about de-escalation because it seems like they come there only to escalate.
Can you take my no? Let me go, bro. No, look at this, bro.
Put your hands behind your back.
You watching this, right? You watching this, right? Yeah. You're resisting. How am I resisting when you have my arms behind my back? That's not her resisting.
You just made a bad day work.
I didn't do shit, bro. Why are you pulling my arms behind my back, bro? My arms are behind my back.
You are resisting.
This is crazy. Why is she going to? Why are they arresting her? For doing what?
I'm resisting with my arms behind my back. Can you call my mom?
Still resisting.
I'm not. I'm telling her to call my mom.
We'll take care of that. We'll come over and
Why are you being rough with me, bro? John, I need badge numbers. John, take pictures of this, bro. Take pictures of this, bro. That's bullshit. There's nothing in that pocket but paper. So you weren't supposed to pat me down just then.
Hey, you say the video wasn't playing? The south side is. Do you see it now? Well, I'm gonna keep playing.
A female supposed to do that. A female supposed to pat me down.
I told to leave over and over again. All you do is run your mouth.
He just pulled my headphone out.
Yo, get in the car.
Pull my headphone out, man. Come on, bro.
You ever been arrested before?
No. Can you fix that? It's like pulling on my skin.
Yeah. What's her first name?
Yanni.
You ever had issues like this before with her?
No.
This is insane. So they came over and started bothering her, and he arrested her for absolutely nothing. You know this is going to be a lawsuit. He knows this is going to be a lawsuit. He just doesn't care.
Not like this.
What's her date of birth, you know?
Her date? I don't know any of her information on that. I can call HR and find that out. But
What about middle initial?
I don't know that.
Let's see if I can get it off of this.
Yeah.
All it is a trespass warning. You need to leave. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to deal with it.
Can I talk to her?
John, call my mom, John.
No, she's being too belligerent.
John, call my mom.
Can I
John,
please get at least the information?
John, call my mom.
For her mom?
No, she hasn't done anything for me to
John,
be
call my mom,
so
John.
I'm done. Go
John,
back
call
over
my
there.
mom.
I don't like people standing behind me.
Yanni, what's your mom's phone number?
John,
I don't like people standing behind me.
get my phone from him.
What is your mom's phone number?
Back up.
813-81. You're a jackass, bro. My phone ain't supposed to be in here.
I just love how you know how everything's supposed to work.
He just asked me, he said, do you want your phone or do you want me to give it to them? I said, give it to them. And you want to have me sit in the audience?
Is there somebody? I got my ears in there. That's okay.
Oh my God. I swear to God, I'm going to sue the fuck out of y'all, bro. I swear to God, y'all better be ready for this shit.
Relocating.
I'm glad to hear that, because she definitely got a lawsuit, an easy one. Well, not easy, but a very winnable lawsuit here. She did absolutely nothing wrong. He just didn't like her attitude or the way she responded to him, which is insane. And he felt like he was just gonna talk to her any type of way, and she was just supposed to listen to him. Like, no, I don't know. This is somebody who wants respect but doesn't give respect.
Oh, it's fifth third, babe.
Straight bullshit.
It's so fast.
Straight bullshit.
Hey guys, it's Justine and I'm so
When I told you to get to my phone.
You don't tell me to do anything.
Then why ask? Why did you ask me then?
My sergeant asked you.
That's my right.
Okay.
And you should have put it where I asked you to.
Okay.
But you want to arrest me so bad. That's what you wanted to do.
Okay.
Okay. You jackass. I hate you, you cops, bro. I hate y'all. Okay.
She definitely helped hate people like him. You know, I don't think that she is so against cops, but she's against cops who act like this and who go about their day doing stuff like this. And she's probably been in situations like this a few times. And yeah, then you build up hostility. And as soon as they approach you, you get a weird feeling, and y'all know it's just bad. Look what happened.
Patted me down. It's supposed to be a woman that patted me down.
Okay.
Okay. And you know that. That's why it's okay, jackass.
Hello? All right, bye.
Oh, now a female's coming. Well, a female should have been there in the first place.
Okay.
Hey, I just got a search.
You say you have to do what?
Search you?
He already did.
Okay.
That's why he's trying to call you now, Mama. I just told him a woman's supposed to search me. He just searched me.
Okay, I'm gonna search you again. Okay. Do you have anything on you?
So you're gonna search me again, and he just searched me. So y'all trying to make it look good. That's why he got me in the back of the middle of nowhere for you to search me.
It's on camera.
So I'm letting the camera know he just searched me, and now he just called a random woman. Well, I'm not gonna say random woman. A female cop. They called to search me.
Men are allowed.
Can you
to
show
search
him what?
females.
Can you show them where we at?
Yeah, men are allowed to search females.
Since when?
Since always.
So why am I being searched again?
I'm gonna search you again. Okay. Can you step out of the car for me, please?
That makes absolutely no sense. If men could search women, he would just search her and would have been over with. He wouldn't have called a female officer. Why would you call a female officer? It makes absolutely no sense, and she knows this. This is easy. This is a very winnable lawsuit. I'm never gonna say it's an easy lawsuit because it's never easy. The whole process, it's a long, difficult process, but it's a very winnable process.
Y'all some backwards ass cops, bro. Why am I being searched again? I don't have nothing on me. I'm at work.
Perfect. I hope you don't, but I'm gonna double check.
This is crazy as bro.
And they searched her. They knew she was at work. So, and you can see everything that she has on. So, you know she's not concealing a weapon or nothing. Like, what are you searching her for?
There's nothing on me.
Okay, I'm gonna please.
This is real uncomfortable, bro.
Yeah,
but I'm being searched for no reason. This is crazy.
I'm sure he already explained to you, but if you have anything on you and you go into jail, it's a felony. Okay.
Why would you say that? What was the point of her saying that? She just told you she don't have nothing on her, and you searching her. So why would you? What would make you say something like that? I don't.
He ain't explain none of that to me because he's an asshole cop.
Okay.
He ain't explain that to me. This is real crazy, bro.
So if you do have anything on you that I don't find, let me know, because if you go into jail with something on you,
I don't have to.
I know. I don't think you do.
I don't have shit on me.
Okay. I just want you to know. That's all. Just to prevent you from getting into anything further than whatever's going on. Okay. You can have a seat.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Because I can't talk to him. Every time I try to ask him a question, he shuts the fucking door in my face.
Okay, what's up?
When he asked me to give my property to someone, which is my cell phone that's ringing right here, I said, "Can you give it to the people at my job?" They were there.
Mm-hmm.
He slammed the door in my face, and my phone's right here.
Okay.
So, what the? How is he able to do shit like this?
It's just gonna go in your property at the jail.
I don't. That's if you were gonna ask me where I want my property when I had my you know. I'm just upset right now.
I got you.
My coworker's there. Why couldn't you give them my phone? My book bag is in the truck, all that. So why couldn't you give them my phone?
I don't know.
So why ask and shut the door in my face? But it's okay for him to do that?
To shut the door?
No, come on now. You get what I'm trying. You get what I'm saying.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
your coworker. You try
go with you.
Huh?
Your property usually goes with you.
She know exactly what you're saying, but you're talking about the actions of her teammate. And she's not going. They have a weird blue. They have a thin blue line that she's standing. She's trying to be a part of that blue line right now. And you think, oh, maybe. Well, you can tell she's like, okay, here's a woman, and like she thinking she might have a way to build some type of rapport with another woman. And for that woman to understand how she feels right now, but she forgets the person that she's trying to talk to right now is still a part of that blue line.
If I
It
told him to
doesn't
give
have
it to
to.
someone else, I say I can get. All I need is 2 phone numbers.
They
out of
may
there.
have changed their mind, something like
So
that.
that's okay to be a jackass.
It's probably better that you have it with you.
No, I don't want it because I don't want it in there with me. No, I just need 2 phone numbers and I was good.
It's with you now, so it's going to stay with you now. But it gets
How?
tucked
And I
in
can't
your
answer
name.
my phone.
I mean, it doesn't stay on your person, but it stays in property.
So I
And
can have
then
a
when
phone
you
call
get
right
out-
now.
Not right now. No. When you get there, you can.
So
They'll let
my
you get
family don't even know what's going on. That's why they're trying to call me.
Okay.
They don't know where y'all taking me.
Okay.
So nobody can answer the phone, and I tell them where I'm going.
When you go to jail and you get booked in, they'll let you get numbers out of your phone, and then you can make a phone call.
This is f***ed up, bro. The way y'all make this shit sound so simple is fucking not, bro. Especially dealing with assholes like him.
It's pretty simple. I mean, you're
like,
they're
come
gonna
on, man.
let you
You're
get numbers out.
more talking to me and calm and understanding than his ass is.
And that's true, but she's still a part of the thin blue line. And the way she's going about it, it's blue line over everything.
You don't understand that, bro. Because you don't know what happened.
I don't.
I just had a dude his size come running up in my face.
If I'm matching
but
your
since he
energy, you're
called the
straight.
cops,
Sit down.
I'm
Sit
arrested though.
Sit down.
Come on now.
Right, have a seat.
Like, come
we
on,
can't change
man.
any of that right now. So
It ain't
whatever
nothing
happened
to change.
before,
It's just a point.
put your feet in.
And y'all some fucked up ass people, bro.
I mean,
real.
She right. They are. Honestly.
they didn't want you on the property, from what I heard. So that's how we got here.
That's all you heard, right?
Yeah,
That's not the story.
That's all I know right now.
That's not the story.
But just because you're going, it doesn't mean you're guilty.
Huh?
It doesn't mean you're guilty just because you're going. You
So
go
how
your
does
day
that
in
work?
court.
This is my first time going through some shit like this.
You'll go. I don't know what the charge is. Like I said, I'm just here to search you. You'll have first appearance maybe today. I'm not going to tell you for sure because I don't know. Generally, it's by Zoom, like FaceTime, something like that. Whatever the charge is, they may say, yeah, you can bond out. No, you got to hold bond. I don't know what your history is. I don't know what the charge
I've
is.
never been
Felony,
charged with
misdemeanor,
anything.
anything like that. See the judge. See what they say. It's up to them from there.
So I'm
Court date-
sitting in a jail cell right now.
Yeah, so you're gonna go. They're gonna search you again. You're gonna go through medical. They're gonna ask you a bunch of questions. They'll have you sit down in a row for a little bit, and then get you booked in. Go hang out like a community pod area until you get your first appearance time. It's early right now, so I'm assuming that you'll be able to see them today. I just don't want to guarantee you because I don't know what the schedule is like today.
So it won't be like till Monday.
No, they have them on Saturdays too. It honestly just kind of depends on what the charge is and that kind of stuff. He drops you off and then you're good to go.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna close this up so you can get going. Yeah. So anyway.
You're resisting. But I'm 4 feet tall. You telling me I'm resisting you? You weirdo.
What's about?
She's saying the truth. He's a weirdo. And my thoughts are he's a weirdo. What would make him react like this? I don't know. Because he's a weirdo.
Walking over here.
Oh, now you being gentle? Because you got cameras around you, now you being gentle?
I had a camera
That's what
the
that
whole
is? You being gentle now, that's what that is.
Giuliani was charged with resisting an officer without violence and trespassing. She is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
How do you make the best belt in the world better? I'm glad you asked. You make it out of real cow.
We are also learning more about the suspect behind.
Officers respond to a gas station where a semi-truck.
Yeah. So I think both of those are going to be dropped. All right. Come on. What y'all think about what's going on there? You ain't see the start. So the start was, well, I just flipped from the start right now.
Is blocking gas pumps.
All right, ma'am. They want you trespassing the property. They don't want you to leave. So let up the stuff.
Sir, I just told him I'm leaving. The person that's doing this, he's right here in this truck. He called y'all for no reason.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
You're saying you're leaving, but I'm not saying you're loading up the beer.
Sir, you're not going to sit up here coming talking to me like that when I just told you Pepin is pulling up the dude right here. So y'all gonna stop yelling at me like I'm
If you don't shut up, I'll just put you in
No, you're gonna
handcuffs
shut up.
and
You
take you
yelling
to
at me,
jail.
bro.
Like, you could tell this is what happened. This is the beginning right now. You see how he approaching her on some weird vibes. He has a very strange way of, he's like, oh, well, I don't see you. Come on now. Why would you even approach her like that? What would make you approach anybody like this? And of course, once you approach somebody like that, or you have that type of energy with them, then they're gonna give you that in return. But I mean, she's right about suing, and those charges that she has, those are gonna be dropped, of course. Like we know those charges gonna be dropped because she didn't do nothing. And all this cop did was okay. He said, okay, well today I want to go ahead and give away some taxpayer dollars because that's all that. Because when she sue, she's gonna sue the city, and the people are gonna have to pay her, not him. So insane. Yeah, I got a video that's dropping in a couple hours. So I hope to see y'all on that stream or that premiere of that video. Uh, who's all in here right now? Yeah, it's telling it. Wait, the stream say. Yeah, so it's a few people in here right now. So what are y'all thoughts on this? Y'all talk to me. You know, I think it's just wild. Sets the star. So what was your thoughts on that? What do you think about this lady's approach, and or how do you think this lady uh acted in this situation? Yeah, officer was wrong, but she's aggressive. Hmm. So why do you think she was so aggressive in that situation? But when the female officer was there, she wasn't. She didn't seem as aggressive with that officer. So what do you think caused her aggression here? Don't think she can win a lawsuit because the prosecutor will accuse her of trespassing. But how can she be accused of trespassing when she wasn't trespassing? It's obviously she works with this company right here, and she wasn't inside, or I'm not gonna say she wasn't inside, but or because she's on the property, obviously. But so was she trespassed from this place before? Is that what you say? You said the officer was rude and she barked back. That's pretty much what I got from this. I think she will win the lawsuit though. because it. Yeah, so yeah, I don't. It's really weird how this works out. You know, I don't know all the back into this, so I don't know if she was trespassed from this gas station before, and now she's back, but she's not actually. Well, she's still on the property, but I don't know. That's why I need to know. Was she trespassed before? Yeah, but I think she was leaving. Yeah, I think she was leaving though. The She was getting ready to take her transportation, and I think she was getting ready to leave because where she where they actually arrested her at, she was going to over where her transportation was, and she was getting ready. She was leaving, but she was just talking as she left. So yeah, so because the officer told her to leave, she did not. I, she was leaving though. You say true. You said, but when the officer asked her to leave, she's still sitting down, telling the officer she's waiting for a partner. I'm trying to. I'm gonna look and see where is that part because
This Black Friday, upgrade your sleep with Nectar's Bamboo Bundle. Plus, spend $1,000 and save one.
I'm not. I'm telling him to call my mom. Call back. Can you take my phone? Arrest him? No.
No, I know. So who called the cops? You or her, or
What's that?
who called you guys?
The manager and stuff.
Johnny, if you hurry up, that's fucking
Yanni, he's going to take you back to the warehouse. I'm going to take the truck back.
the video says she's walking to her transport right now. So at this point, she's walking over to her transportation.
He's sitting up here in tights and shit. Are you gonna arrest him? No. He's sitting there smiling and shit. You don't know, bro. You just don't know, bro. Don't forget I gotta clock out. I get a sergeant here.
Sergeant's right there.
I want a sergeant. I want a different.
So she's saying she want to talk to a sergeant, and she doesn't like the sergeant that's on the call right now. So she want another sergeant or lieutenant.
Sergeant, I'm not talking to neither one of y'all.
Then you didn't get in that truck.
I want a police report about
You didn't
this
get in that truck.
because he's harassing me.
No, you're harassing everybody.
Can I have a police report?
We'll give you.
Is this what you're talking about right here? Because I don't know him saying she need to leave or hear him say anything about her leaving.
Shit, bro. Bro, can you take my phone? Can you take my phone? No, let me go, bro. No, look at this, bro.
Put your hands behind your back.
You watching this, right?
He didn't say you're under arrest or anything. He just started grabbing her and grabbed her arm, and this is weird. That's why you say he's a weird dude. You're not gonna say you're under arrest or tell her why she will be under arrest. You're just gonna start grabbing at somebody. That's very weird. I'm glad you said this, so we can go and we can see this again and see how crazy this actually looks. He said she's still on the property. She needed to leave. The odds are stacking. Well, she was getting ready to leave. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna pick up the link right here. Yeah, this just seemed real wild to me. And I don't know if you're talking about this point right here.
Officers respond to a gas station where a semi-truck is blocking gas pumps.
All right, ma'am. They went.
I guess you talking about when she was sitting right here?
To trespass on the property, they don't want you to leave, so let up to stuff.
Sir, I just told him I'm leaving. The person that's doing this, he's right here in this truck. He called y'all for no reason.
Let up to stuff.
Sir, I just told him I'm leaving.
The property, they don't want you to leave, so let up to stuff.
Sir, I just.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying right here. So the whole call was for saying they want this truck to move or leave. But it's weird because it looked like they got a delivery to this gas station, and maybe because of where they park, they upset.
To trespass on the property, they don't want you to leave, so let up to stuff.
Sir, I just told him I'm leaving. The person that's doing this, he's right here in this truck. He called y'all for no reason.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
You're saying you're leaving, but I'm not saying you're loading up the beer.
Sir, you're not going to sit up here coming talking to me like that when I just told you Pepin is pulling up. The dude right here. So y'all gonna stop yelling at me like I just.
If you don't shut up, I'll just put you in handcuffs.
No, you're gonna shut up. You yelling at me, bro.
I'm not yelling.
You are just yelled at me for no reason when I just said Pepin is pulled up.
So either you
calm down. Did I just yell at him, John?
Let's diffuse.
Did I just yell at him, John?
Okay, let's diffuse.
Come on, bro, but you gonna put me in handcuffs because I'm upset? Y'all didn't even ask me what the fuck happened.
Okay.
This dude just ran up in my face.
Yanni,
And I'm my homie.
It's private property.
So you can do what you want to do?
Yeah.
So I can run up on anybody's face because I own property?
Ma'am, we're not going to get into that.
Man, whatever, bro. Y'all take.
You didn't let me. Yeah, I gotta see you. You gotta turn your camera on. Sexy star, you gotta turn your camera on. Yeah, turn your camera on so I can see you. Yeah, I can't let you up on the streaming side. You know everything good with you. I can see you in the down in the chat area though. Yeah, see, I can't put you on the stage until I see you first. But anyway, we got another video I see. This is three cops, 2 lawsuits, 1 quit, 1 suspended, and 1 demoted. And this is from the Lackluster channel. So.
Arrested him for resisting arrest.
I covered this.
Driver!
Yeah.
Come get me, bro.
So I guess we about to get the update to what happened here. But y'all remember I covered this already. Dang, I wish more people was in the chat right now. Gma, Mitch, all of them. We definitely covered this one, and we saw how crazy this was.
Tell me about
this woman right here. This was the same woman in that other video where she arrested a blind man for having his walking stick and telling her he don't have to give her ID. This was another wild one right here. Oh man.
the driving incidents that you have in your file. I hit a mailbox, missed a stop sign, which popped a tire.
Probably gonna try to beat him.
So not only was she a bad cop, but she was also a bad driver. She wrecked her car like 3 times. And it's
And recently I hit a cement box and backed into another patrol vehicle.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. In October of 2020, Martinez.
Oh, I remember this one. I'm excited to see this one. And y'all just gonna be watching this one with me if you want to.
Bowman was a short distance from home when he passed Deputy David Harvey and Deputy Jamie Godey of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. The deputies noticed that Mr. Bowman's taillights were off, though his headlights and brake lights appeared to be in working order. After following Mr. Bowman for about 20 seconds, he signaled a left-hand turn, and the deputies finally activated their emergency lights.
Get that tag number. Hotel Zulu, Bravo, Victor 5. Bravo.
Mr. Bowman slowed his speed to a crawl and used his turn signal once more to demonstrate that he was pulling into his driveway. Once parked, he sat in his driver's seat to wait for the deputies with his window down.
He wanted to get home where there was light instead of pulling over on a 2-lane road, and the officer mistook that as this felony evading and escalated from moment one.
Deputies shall greet violators with appropriate title in a courteous manner.
Why is that important?
Because when you make contact with a violator on a normal traffic stop, you want to be courteous to not, have a bad demeanor towards the person, or the person take that bad demeanor and send it back to you.
This holiday season, give a gift that matters. Whoop is the wearable that tracks everything essential for a healthier life: sleep, recovery, strength.
Stop! Stop right now! Shoot me! Stop! Put your hands out!
This she was asked if she was taught about de-escalation, and this is her de-escalation strategy right here. That's de-escalation right here. So in her mind, she's de-escalating the situation right here. Y'all, that's what made this so crazy. That, oh my goodness.
The window!
Family members exit the home to record the incident, while Mr. Bowman remained in his vehicle with his hands and head out the driver's side window.
Put your hands out the window! Do not move! Do you understand me?
Tell me to get a 35, dude.
Are you gonna shoot me?
1257 for me. Send us to 35.
Are you gonna shoot me? Keep your hands where I can see them.
Deputy Harvey ordered Mr. Bowman to exit his vehicle, to which Bowman requested that the deputy escort him out so he could keep his hands up and visible to both deputies.
Driver! Step out the vehicle slowly! Step out the vehicle slowly! Shoot me, bro! Step out of the vehicle slowly! Listen, me, bro. Come here. Come get me, bro. Come get me, bro. You're not come driver! Come get me, bro. I will release my dog if you do not step out of the vehicle.
Keep hands on, I'm about to pull my dog.
Deputy Harvey retrieves his canine and yells a series of conflicting commands before releasing the dog.
Last warning! Sheriff's House K9! You want me to get out? Sheriff's House K9! You better stop! Stay there! Turn around! Face away from me now! I will release this dog if you do not! Release the dog, bro! Put your hands up! Turn around and face the other way! Now! Slowly! I said slowly! Back towards me! Do not face me! You don't face the other way! Last warning! You better listen! Can I? No! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Let it go!
Dog has been released. Dog is released.
Help me! Help me, bro! Get your dog, man! Get your dog, man, bro!
For several minutes, Canine Drago tore into Mr. Bowman's leg.
The police dog tore chunks of Bowman's legs out so bad that we had to blur pictures of the injuries because the dog bites go all the way down to the bone. Since that night, Bowman has undergone multiple surgeries with more surgeries still needed.
Please, bro, my leg! My leg! Help me! Help!
Deputy Jamie Godey was just a trainee at this time, and Deputy Harvey had failed her.
Who was with you at the time?
The time of what?
The time of this incident. Was there anybody in your car?
What we're here for?
Yes.
Yes, Deputy Godey.
Okay. What was your role at that point or up to that point in her training?
It was her first day there, and it was traffic stops.
Okay. Did you know her before that day?
No.
This was her first traffic stop?
Right.
Okay. Had you had a traffic stop that evening?
I don't remember. I don't think with her. And I know for a fact with her, no, because that was the first one that was going to be conducted, and I was going to show her how to conduct a traffic stop, and that's how I wanted her to conduct it. And she would have took over then my driving seat and done her own traffic stops
after she saw you.
Yeah, conduct the first traffic stop.
Okay.
Not once did they identify themselves as.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this turned out because I covered this one. That whole deposition, both of their depositions, I covered. Or I can just say I saw it, but I had a lot of people watching it with me, but yeah. So, I can't wait till we see this update about how this actually turned out.
As officers, nor did they announce why they were pulling Mr. Bowman over.
And he's pretty much a kid. I think he might be early 20s, but they did him so wrong for no reason.
Over or attempt to de-escalate. Bowman was charged with felony fleeing and eluding, likely to back up the use of Canine Draco, as the Columbia.
I know this charge, they're going to say it, but I know this charge was dropped.
County Sheriff's Office policy on canine teams is that they are only to be used for searching, tracking, crowd control, and apprehending fleeing or resisting subjects. In order to use the canine, Mr. Bowman must still be either posing a threat of violence, actively resisting or attempting to evade at the time, or actively eluding capture.
Was Bowman attempting to flee that night?
No.
Was he pushing or pulling or trying to physically prevent control from Officer Harvey?
No.
Officer Harvey never came in contact with him until he effectuated the arrest, correct?
Until the K-9 was released.
Okay.
But Mr. Bowman had requested several times for the deputies to come and get him, to be removed from the vehicle safely.
Listen to me, bro. Come here. Come get me, bro. Come get me, bro. You're not. Driver! Come get me, bro. I will release my dog if you do not step out of the vehicle.
At his trial, a jury declared Mr. Bowman,
and he don't want to walk over because look at her with her gun. This is her de-escalating, and they can say, or they can feel like he's coming at them the wrong way and open fire, and you never know how you would react in this situation, but I can tell you, you don't want to just walk over to the police when they got guns pointed at you. It doesn't matter what they're saying.
was not guilty after deliberating for only 23 minutes.
Big city man who says he was viciously mauled by a K-9 with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office was found not guilty of fleeing and eluding law enforcement Tuesday.
Are you aware that
Of course he wasn't fleeing. And he wasn't eluding. He just pulled to his house or pulled around close to his house so everybody can know what was going on.
that was reviewed by a Columbia County jury? The fleeing, are you aware?
Reviewed?
Yes, that there was a jury trial on whether this was a fleeing.
Okay.
Do you know what that jury determined?
Huh.
They determined that this was not a fleeing, that he was not guilty.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you can commit a crime and the jury finds you not guilty on it.
That's his answer, or that's his response to what he just said. He said, you can have committed a crime, but the jury just says you're okay. That's basically what he's saying happens for them a lot of times.
The crime still could be committed. Look at Casey Anthony. Look at O.J. Simpson. A jury can find you not guilty on a crime.
You name those people, but he didn't name any of his hero cops. That it's plenty of those situations.
And you still committed the crime.
Okay.
That's your right to have a trial by jury.
So you do not defer to a jury as an officer of the law? Do you not defer
officer of the law?
A jury's verdict as an officer of the law?
Object to the they're not sworn officers.
No, not that. You as a former officer of the law, I'm referring to you, not them. If somebody's adjudicated not guilty in a court of law, does that matter to you?
Object to the form. It's not that it don't matter. It's what the jury ruled on. If they ruled him not guilty, then they ruled him not guilty.
Okay.
It's not it doesn't. I don't know what. I don't know what that it doesn't matter to me.
Do you ever get
if I got in trouble, and I wasn't guilty of it, I'd want a jury of my peers, which is my right.
Of course. But it seems to me that you're not going to defer to the jury that this wasn't fleeing under the law. Am I correct?
Object. I had to have probable cause to make the arrest.
Okay.
And probable cause was there, so the arrest was made. Then it was up to a jury to decide. I wasn't even there. So at the trial, so I don't What the jury decides is what the jury decides. That has nothing to do with me.
Were you supposed to testify at his criminal trial?
I guess not. I wasn't there.
Okay.
They didn't subpoena me.
Okay.
Did you have any communications with the state attorney's office pertaining to this incident?
For the criminal trial, yes.
Okay. Do you believe that there are alternative ways that this traffic stop could have been handled by Officer Harvey?
Back to the form.
No.
Are you ready to see your brand on TV? Your competitors will wish they had known about Vibe. With Vibe, you can launch targeted TV and streaming ad campaigns using our powerful platform.
Mr. Bowman would then file a lawsuit against both deputies in 2022, alleging excessive force, unlawful detention, malicious prosecution, and battery, as well as claims of deliberate indifference, gross negligence, and failure to train against Sheriff Hunter. At around the same time the lawsuit was filed, K9 Draco died an early death after a heat-related injury sustained during training. In March of 2024, nearly 4 years after the incident, the district court found that a, quote, reasonable officer in Deputy Harvey's position could have believed the force he used in deploying Draco was reasonable. And even if the force used was excessive, Bowman has failed to show that the unreasonableness of such a use of force had been clearly established, and thus Deputy Harvey was granted qualified immunity, and Deputy Godey was, quote, entitled to qualified immunity because she did not have a duty to prevent Deputy Harvey's arguably lawful use of Draco. However, in October of 2024, Bowman filed an appeal with the 11th Circuit, which means it could be a few more years before anything further occurs in this case. Bowman's attorney, John Phillips, recently spoke about it.
He was found not guilty, and jurors came up to us afterwards and said, "What was that all about?" And I said, "You tell me. You're in Columbia County. I'm not. You tell me what that's about." And I thought, okay, now we've won the criminal case. We'll file the civil rights suit and we'll move forward. And maybe this was an isolated incident. And then I saw this video.
The video he's referring to involves a 61-year-old man who was walking home after jury duty when Deputy Godey pulled over and approached him.
Hi there. What's this in your back pocket?
She is not a good person. And it's, I say, yeah, the training needs to be better, but they just need to pick better people, because I don't think any amount of training is going to train you out of being a bad person. Even if you're a good person, you can't train into being a bad person. If you're a good person and you know that things you're being trained are not right, you're not gonna go with that. So, we think it's a training issue, but it's really a picking issue. They just picked the wrong people to hire. Or you can say they picked the right people if this is their plan.
I just saw you walking it.
It's a navigational age. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless.
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
Are you a tyrant? Yeah, I am. And she knows.
Reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
What is your suspicion?
It looked like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't
have you ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a to me.
Well, you're being one to me.
No, sir, I'm doing my job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in?
supervisor,
He's right
please.
here.
It's no reason. She said she pulled him over. She's speaking to him right now because she's trying to make sure he doesn't have a weapon in his back pocket. And he pulled out and showed you what he had in his back pocket. So, okay, it's over now. But not for her.
All right.
Don't you know?
Or what's the stock for? For a walking stick.
So,
and it could look like a weapon.
For a walking stick. Well, it looks like a weapon, but you know it's not a weapon. It's a walking stick. So, okay, everything over now. They could just get back in their truck and drive off and leave.
She asked you to really present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion. And I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed. Okay. So there is no problem. You got your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it. Okay. Okay.
After
they just stupid. Like you hear how stupid he is. Just a complete idiot. And he got these stripes. So I think this is a sergeant. You got a complete idiot. It's this whole. You got. How do you get this job and be like this?
Dispelling Deputy Godey's suspicions that James had a weapon, and having no other reason to even breathe towards him, Sergeant Randall Harrison and Deputy Godey unlawfully detained James for not handing over his papers to the state agents.
I don't know where his wallet is.
Where's your wallet at, sir? I don't have a wallet on me.
Okay, where's your ID?
Where's your ID? In my pocket. Which pocket? You are not allowed to search me.
It's in this pocket.
Here you go.
Thank you.
I want your names and badge numbers.
1237 on Nick 65 floor 27.
Yeah, 4427.
Okay, there's beautiful Vibe Court. This is amazing for stews and braising. Absolutely stunning. Again, this
Preferably
Hotel 322 457 61 2540.
Sir, you legally blind? Yes, I am. I had to walk up here in the dark for jury duty, which was canceled. Why aren't you using your stick? You don't have to use your stick all the time? Or not all the time?
After Deputy Godey and Sergeant Harrison unlawfully seizes James and searches through his property, Godey patronizes the man.
All right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
His response enrages both officers and leads to his unlawful arrest.
It's going to be. I want your name and your badge number. I'm putting yourself for resisting.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I want your name and badge number too, sir.
Have a seat.
You want to pick my property up, please?
I sure will, after you have a seat.
Careful. You want to pull this out of my back pocket?
Sure. Here, I'll grab your jacket for you, too.
At the time, the footage of this event went viral, and concerned citizens expressed their anger with the Columbia County Sheriffs, prompting a public statement from Sheriff Mark Hunter.
On October 31st, shortly after 8 a.m., two of our deputies encountered Mr. James Hodges walking near the intersection of Marion Avenue and East Duval Street. The interaction resulted in the arrest of Mr. Hodges. Body cam footage that was provided to Mr. Hodges of this incident has recently been circulated across many outlets and has resulted in our office receiving a number of calls from concerned citizens. On November the 3rd, Mr. Hodges requested body cam footage of the incident. During the review process, prior to it being released, a likely policy violation was discovered. The administrative investigation concluded the afternoon of 11/7 and allegations of policy violations against these two deputies were sustained.
And for once, an agency investigated themselves, finding that both officers were not only wrong, but that they had broken several laws, including assault, battery, and kidnapping, a first-degree felony in Florida, punishable by up to life imprisonment. Just kidding, but they did demote Sergeant Harrison and suspended both deputies.
As a result of these findings, Sergeant Harrison will be demoted immediately, suspended without pay for 7 days, and will not be eligible for any favorable action for 2 years.
Are you currently employed with Columbia County Sheriff's Office? No. Okay. Where are you currently employed?
Myself.
Are you retired?
Yes.
When did you retire?
March the 24th of this year.
Was there any training that you had to undergo when you got promoted from a deputy to a sergeant?
No.
Okay.
Deputy Godey will be suspended with.
Wow. So they don't do no training. And you got to think, just like I was saying earlier, you can't train somebody to be a good person. If they're a good person, they're just a good person. You can't train a good person to do bad things.
So this year.
Was there any training that you had to undergo when you got promoted from a deputy to a sergeant?
No.
Okay.
Deputy Godey will be suspended without pay for 2 days. Both deputies will be required to undergo remedial training pertaining to civil rights.
Have you ever been subject to any disciplinary action while employed with Columbia County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Okay, and tell me about that.
I'd ask that you refer to my file.
Okay. Can you tell me about the first instance that you were reprimanded or subject to discipline?
I'm kind of checked at this point. I think the discipline you may be referring to, the only discipline I'm aware of, happened after this incident. So it's totally irrelevant to this case. So I'm going to object to that line of questions.
You can answer the question.
So I believe it would be November of 2022.
And what happened in November of 2022?
I had contact with Mr. Hodges and arrested him for resisting arrest, and the charges were dropped and I was disciplined for it.
Okay, and did you have a supervisor that assisted you on the scene?
Yes.
Who was that?
Sergeant Harrison.
And what was your reprimand or discipline as a result of that?
I received, are you asking what it was? I received 3 days unpaid leave.
Okay. Were you demoted in any way or given a different shift?
No.
Okay.
I'm deeply
Do you ever wonder how Nectar can offer such an incredible deal for their adjustable bundle? This bundle includes the Nectar mattress,
That's why she
cooling
didn't
pillows.
run from that situation. She in the situation.
saddened the negative impact that this has on our agency, and this.
So they give her paid days off to be a tyrant, and absolutely ridiculous. Makes no sense. Why would you?
Situation has caused to us.
It's alleged that Deputy Harvey quit and is no longer a law enforcement officer. Mr. Harrison retired shortly after being demoted from sergeant, and it appears that Deputy Godey is still employed by the same agency. The following are highlights of the depositions of those 3 officers.
Deputies shall greet violators with appropriate title in a courteous manner.
Why is that important?
Because when you make contact with a violator on a normal traffic stop, you want to be courteous to not, have a bad demeanor towards the person, or the person take that bad demeanor and send it back to you.
Leading up to this incident, had you ever been arrested?
Yes.
For what?
DUI that was reduced to reckless driving.
Okay, so misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
7 days out of this patrol car for some mind recalibration got me motivated to do some hood rat things with my hood rat friends. Chris, let's get it, dude. Have you ever seen, maybe you haven't, there's a YouTube video with a kid who steals his grandma or mom's car, and it's a viral video, and the news media asked him why he does it, and he said, because I wanted to do some hood rat things with my hood rat friends. So I was quoting what that had said.
What did you mean that you were in this statement?
Let's go get with me and my friend, which is the deputy, let's go do some proactive police work.
Proactive, what is proactive police work?
Meaning you're driving around in neighborhoods and proactive preventing crimes of occurring, doing traffic stops, middle of the night, just doing preventative activities, proactive,
so
being proactive.
Why would that be compared to hood rat things with your hood rat friends?
Subject to the form.
Because
man, insane. Absolutely ridiculous. You just does it get more crazy? He just in this whole entire deposition, which I think it's like 2 hours long, he was saying so much crazy stuff, and it was just piling up. And you think he's not gonna say nothing even crazier than that? He did it every single time.
that was it was a quote from somebody else that I thought was a funny quote.
Okay. But you admitted that kid in the video was in the process, or it was talking about committing crime, right?
His was talking about crime. Mine was talking about preventing crime.
Okay. What's the significance of the YouTube video that was attached?
That's I listen to rap music, and that's a song by Kevin Gates that I like.
What's it called?
Big Gangster.
Okay. Are you aware of training that states canine handlers should exhaust all reasonable means to effect an arrest without incurring a dog bite?
Is that in the policy, or is that a policy?
I'm just asking you if that's what you're
I'd have to read that. I haven't read that stuff in so long. I don't know what all this is.
Do you know if it's the standard that you're supposed to use that canine handlers should exhaust all reasonable means to effect an arrest without incurring a dog bite?
Object to the form.
Sounds like common sense.
Okay. Were you reprimanded, demoted, or terminated in any way related to this incident?
No.
While canine handler Harvey seems to have quit prior to the second incident, both Deputy Godey and Sergeant Harrison were involved in both incidents. Note that the questions and answers being given relate to the first incident involving canine Drago.
Did you complete any training with Columbia County Sheriff's Office as it pertains to de-escalation techniques?
Okay, so we're skipping around. Are we still talking about canines?
Did you, as sergeant or watch commander, at your time with Columbia County Sheriff's Office, complete any training as it pertains to de-escalation techniques?
I don't understand what you're trying to ask me.
Did you undergo training, workshops, classes on de-escalation?
Are we talking about use of force? Or are we still talking about canines?
Any of it, any training that you've
Any training on de-escalation. And this is how you know they don't train de-escalation at all. They train them to escalate. That's why I was saying earlier, it's like they're trained to escalate.
undergone as far as de-escalation techniques as an officer with Columbia County Sheriff's Office?
This year, I'm showing my mom I'm invested in her health and happiness by giving her the gift of a lifetime. With Whoop,
That's a no. And you should think they should be trained to de-escalate situations. They should be trained on that, and that should be a big part of the training. But they're obviously trained to escalate. That's what they do. Anytime they show up, they escalate the situation every single time, it seems like. And I've experienced that going out there and filming as well. It seems like they show up and they don't like what you're doing, or they don't understand what you're doing. And even though what you're doing is well within your rights, they just don't understand that they just don't like to see you exercise your rights, and then they're already showing up, and that with escalation, they're not trying to de-escalate at all, even when they're wrong.
I'm trying to think how to respond to that because I don't know if you're talking about canine de-escalation or we're talking about use of force de-escalation.
Well, is use of a canine use of force?
No.
Okay. So I'm just asking generally, as sheriff.
You can tell by his body language that answer didn't. The answer he just gave didn't even sit well with him, and he knows it.
Or watch commander of Columbia County Sheriff's Office.
No.
Okay. So I'm just asking generally, as sheriff or watch commander of Columbia County Sheriff's Office, did you undergo any training on de-escalation or de-escalation techniques?
If it was pertaining to the use of force, I would probably say yes.
Okay. And what kind of training did you undergo?
It's been a while since I've looked at use of force policies. I would have to refresh my memory on that with the use of force policy before I answered that.
So
you don't know. That's a answer within itself.
I don't want you to tell me the specifics of what you were trained or instructed on, but what I want to know is how often did you undergo that training? Or what specifically was it? Was it a class? Was it a workshop? Did you just get documents?
Sometimes it was.
Hold up. I'm going to object. You're asking compound questions. Now ask him one question and let him answer, please. What question do you want? Ask your question.
What type of training, not the specifics of what was included in the training or what was discussed, but what type of course or material was it that you were provided on de-escalation?
If you're referring to use of force, if that's what you're referring to, there was times that we had sit-in classes, and there was times that we done workshop, if you call workshop by sitting in front of a computer and watching certain classes. We've done that as well.
Okay. As his supervisor and as a training officer, would you have, do you feel that a pit maneuver was appropriate under these circumstances?
Object to the form.
You can answer.
First off, I don't train to do pit maneuvers.
Okay. Why?
Okay? Because I'm not an instructor to teach them.
Okay.
Okay, you have to be a certified instructor to teach pit maneuvers. Secondly, I don't tell officers when they should do a pit maneuver, okay, because I don't know when it's safe and not safe. And I'm gonna give you an example of that. You're in that closet and you can't see outside that closet. You don't know what the dangers are out here, but there's possible a danger out here. Are you gonna come out of that closet? That's an example. So I don't instruct people when to do pit maneuvers because of that safety.
Could he have instructed Bowman to walk towards Godey instead of releasing the canine?
Object to the form.
He could have instructed several things, but from the video, he wasn't getting anything accomplished.
Could he have instructed Mr. Bowman to walk towards Officer Godey?
Object to the form.
He could have instructed anything.
Okay. In March of 2020, how many hours were logged?
0 hours.
So March of 2020, Harvey spent a total of 0 time training with Canine Drago based on this log.
That's what I'm reviewing.
Okay. In May of 2020, how many hours did Officer Harvey spend training with Drago?
I don't see anything listed for me.
What does actively resisting mean?
Actively resisting could be, do you have the use of force policy? Do you have the use of force policy?
I do, but you tell me based on your own words and recollection what actively resisting means.
Tell you from what the use of force policy says.
Can you tell me from your recollection and training and experience as we sit here today?
You can win this 2024 custom Ford Raptor worth over $120,000 or $80,000 in cash.
Without being able to look at the definition of it, I'd say actively resisting would be not following lawful commands.
Okay.
So do you see where it says approved by me?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have to be done, but that's something I wanted to do on all of these things. I made them do, all of them do that. Okay. That's not required.
Okay.
Okay. So what was your question again?
Well, after it's filled out and completed and here approved by you, even though it's not required, what happens to it next?
It's forwarded by email to all the chain of commands.
And what's the purpose of completing these reports?
Honestly, bullshit, unnecessary paperwork,
Okay.
in my opinion.
And as we sit here today, are you able to define passive resistance?
No.
Okay. So what is active physical resistance?
My thought or my terminology would be not complying with lawful commands.
Active resistance, a subject's use of physically evasive movements directed towards the deputy, such as preparing to or attempting to flee, bracing, tensing, pushing, or pulling to prevent the deputy from establishing control over the subject.
Okay.
Okay, do you agree with that? Do you have any reason to dispute the definition as outlined by Columbia County Sheriff's Office?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That the canine teams operate under the supervision of the watch commander, who was you at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any reason to dispute that?
No.
Okay. As we sit here today, do you know the difference between verbal, passive, and active resistance?
Object to the form.
Verbal would be like I guess, an argument, I guess. Using cuss words and stuff. What was the other one you asked me about?
Passive.
Passive would, that's the one I didn't know long ago. Just taking a guess at it is not following lawful commands.
And active resistance?
Active would be like resisting, I guess, pulling away. Pushing, pulling.
Did you take any steps to de-escalate the situation?
What we did was attempting to de-escalate the situation.
So as y'all see in the picture earlier that I pointed out, her in her mind, her getting out there and pointing her gun at these people is de-escalating. That's de-escalation. Or in her mind, that is how you de-escalate a situation, by drawing your gun and yelling at them. That's why they're training. They don't train them in de-escalation. The only thing they're trained to do, it seems like, is they're trained to escalate as soon as they get there.
Okay. And what did you do specifically to attempt to de-escalate the situation?
So I remained with my firearm on the vehicle to maintain control. We had to gain control of the situation for it to de-escalate.
Okay. And so did you do anything to attempt to de-escalate the situation?
We were attempting to gain control of the situation so that it would be de-escalated.
Okay, so you just testified that you can't de-escalate the situation until you have control of the situation, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so did you do?
Just think about that. The only way that they can de-escalate is if they have control of the situation. This is so wild.
Do anything specifically to attempt to de-escalate the situation?
Yes, I attempted to gain control of the situation to de-escalate it.
And what did you do to attempt to gain control of the situation?
Aim her gun. That's the only thing she did, was aim her gun.
I maintained my firearm pointed at the vehicle while Deputy Harvey gave loud verbal commands. I maintained my position
She aimed her gun
in the felony traffic stop.
Okay. And so is it your testimony that exiting your vehicle with your firearm drawn at a citizen is an attempt to de-escalate a situation?
It wasn't drawn at a citizen, it was pointed at the vehicle.
Okay. Pointing your weapon at a vehicle.
You were aiming your gun at them. The fact that she trying to say it was pointing at the car, why would you point your gun at the car? Just for no reason? No. I can't believe that she said that and thought it made sense. Or like, this is just wild to me. Their line of thinking, going through and being in these situations.
Do you strike that? Is it your testimony that pointing your weapon at a vehicle is an attempt to de-escalate a situation?
I was attempting to gain control of the situation to de-escalate the situation.
What were you trained to do to de-escalate a situation?
I was trying to gain control of the situation so that we can move forward with de-escalating.
Okay.
I know y'all hear that, and y'all can't miss what she just said. Listen to this. Listen to what she asked her, and look how she answered it.
Gain control of the situation.
What are you trained to do to de-escalate a situation?
I was trying to gain control of the situation so that we can move forward with de-escalating.
Okay, and so my question is not in relation to you gaining control of a situation. My question is, what specifically were you trained to do to attempt to de-escalate a situation?
I believe you want me to say.
This is when I found out they don't have training on de-escalation. All they know, they're trained to escalate a situation. That's why she got out there and started aiming her gun, because that's gonna escalate the situation. So she's trained to escalate, not de-escalate.
I need to speak to them, but if they're not in compliance, I can't speak to anybody. I have to gain control of the situation. I have to meet someone at their level of resistance to get them in compliance so that we can then de-escalate.
So I don't want you to testify as to what you think I want you to testify to. I want you to testify as to what you were trained to do to de-escalate a encounter with a citizen or a traffic stop to de-escalate the situation.
Okay, I meet them at their level of resistance. Once they're in compliance, I de-escalate. Not disengage, but I lessen my. Now you got my words twisted up. I meet them at their level of resistance.
What do you mean by that?
So.
This is the premium Garmin Duffel 45 liter by Half Day. It's a transforming 2-in-1 travel duffel bag for long weekends.
Unless she asks her, what do you mean by that? And that's why I think this lawyer was doing a good job in asking these questions, because why would you do that?
Because we were conducting a felony traffic stop, it's training. I'm trained to pull my weapon and remain in that position until there is compliance. So when there is compliance, I can then holster my firearm. Once the person is detained or the situation, that is when I would consider the situation under control. So once the situation's under control, I can then go downward. I don't have to have a firearm pointed at someone or at a vehicle when someone is detained.
Okay, and so what specifically, you kept going after you indicated you would meet their level of resistance. What else did you do? What else are you trained to do to de-escalate after you meet their level of resistance?
I'm going to object at this point. I think
They're trained to escalate. That's all they're trained to do. She doesn't know this de-escalation thing that you're talking about. All they know is escalate. That's all they are trained to do, escalate. That's why as soon as they get to the scene, all they do is escalate. You have a few, I think I would just call them good people, who know how to actually de-escalate a situation, and that's only because they were a good person to begin with. That's why I say they just hire bad people.
answered your question. Maybe she's not giving you what you want to hear, but I think she's answered your question.
So your testimony was that you gained control of the situation, specifically as far as de-escalating a situation, in order to, before we even get to that, in order to gain control, you talked about meeting their level of resistance.
Yes.
Okay. And so let's assume in a hypothetical scenario, you meet the individual's level of resistance. What do you do next? Or what are you trained to do next to attempt to de-escalate a situation?
Objection, ask and answer.
Again, I feel like you're leading me to an answer.
How?
So are you trying to ask what I do after?
I don't know why she thinks that this is a trick. How is she leading you to an answer? She's just asking you a question, and just answer the way that you just answer the question. That's it.
So I've met them at their level of resistance. What is my next step? Or
what are you trained to do as far as that training course or program as far as de-escalation techniques? Because when you first testified, you kept going as to more de-escalation techniques, and I stopped you and interrupted you. I'm sorry, and said, what does that mean?
Okay.
So keep going after meeting their level of resistance. Was there more as far as de-escalation techniques that you're trained to do?
Same objection.
Once the situation's under control, there's no reason to go further. So again, your questions aren't making sense because I gave my answer.
Your answers aren't making sense.
So I meet them at their level of resistance. If there's compliance, then the situation is de-escalated.
Okay, and so
if they do what I say, that means the situation is de-escalated. That's their version of de-escalation, to gain control over the situation. Not to de-escalate a situation. They're not trained to do that. And we know that with what she's saying right now.
by compliance, you mean the individual is detained?
Object to the form.
It depends on the situation.
I'm not trying to ask you tricky questions or misleading questions. I'm just trying to understand. I'm not
Yes,
a
ma'am.
police officer, so I'm trying to understand what you're trained to do and de-escalation techniques. And so there's nothing else, and you're going to object, aside from gaining control of the situation and meeting resistance, that you're trained as far as de-escalation techniques in any encounter with a citizen.
Same objection.
Gordon Ramsay's 12-piece set is on sale for Black Friday, but is it really worth the price? Let's break it down.
I can't say. I can't say what you're looking for.
It's a yes or no. I'm not trying to force you to give me an answer. I'm just trying to make the record clear and understand, because I feel as though I cut you off after you said meeting their level of resistance. And so I'm trying to reword the question to make it easier for you to understand, to be able to answer. Is there anything else that you're trained to do to de-escalate a situation in a traffic stop, aside from gaining control of the situation and meeting their resistance?
Object to the form.
No.
Okay. Would you have been allowed to interject and suggest to Harvey not to release K9 Drago?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay. And so your testimony is you had no authority to de-escalate or stop the situation?
I had no authority when it comes to K9 Drago.
You're the supporting officer on the scene, correct?
I'm the backup, yes.
Okay, so you're the backup officer on the scene, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so your testimony is that you had no authority to de-escalate or stop the situation?
I'm trying to think of, it's kind of a two-part question.
Okay. Did you have authority to de-escalate the situation?
At that time, no.
Did you have authority to stop the situation from occurring?
No.
Okay. Did you have authority to intervene in the situation?
No.
Okay. And so your testimony is that as the backup officer, you had no authority to intervene, de-escalate, or stop the situation?
As a trainee backup officer, no, I did not.
John Phillips, the attorney from earlier that represents Martinez Bowman, is also the attorney for James Hodges and Joe Exotic, aka the Tiger King. He recently spoke about the Hodges incident during a press conference concerning the lawsuits against Columbia County.
A few years ago, we got a call from Martinez Bowman about a police dog attack, and we investigated that. We filed suit on that case, and the officer that was chiefly involved is a now retired, I guess, officer, David Harvey. Well, David Harvey was the chief training officer for Jamie Goad. So on October 31st of this year, when Jim was coming from jury duty, he was harassed by Jimmy Goad, and it led to the video you've all seen. And we're going to be asking for the Department of Justice to come in and take a look at the wrongdoing and the lack of discipline at Columbia County Sheriff's Office. When they're poorly trained, when they abuse their power, it is the biggest breach of trust that our society has.
The only way to drive away darkness is to turn the lights on. This is not my first time.
I like that.
Way darkness is
that our society has.
The only way to drive away darkness is to turn the lights on. This is not my first time running into the face of injustice, just trying to get along and do my thing. When social media started bringing this disease we have in our society to the public eye, I started getting exposed to it too. So I made up my mind to properly, legally, and as maturely as possible, given the circumstances, to fight back.
When you have someone saying, look at me, I'm causing problems with the community, and a sheriff says, what? Then, maybe it's the sheriff that has the actual vision impairment, not Mr. Hodges. We'll leave that for the DOJ to determine.
James has now also filed a lawsuit against Randall Harrison and Jamie Godey. At first, they tried to settle by offering him $7,500 to sweep it under the rug. But James denied the insulting gesture, and it's been several months since the case has moved in any direction. But when there are updates to either of the cases from today's video, I'll be sure to let you know. Until then, share this video with your pro-police friends and ask if they would defend these deputies, and let me know how you feel about these interactions in the comments down below.
All right, y'all. That's going to be it for this stream. I actually have a premiere that's going to be premiering in I would say about 45 minutes. Hopefully y'all are there to catch that, and see y'all then. AWB, I'm out.